Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Since our last update, we've got a few things to look over. We've got the airport construction has gone on. We've got the new edging around the city. A bit more work on the layout. We've been doing quite a lot of work on our other areas, such as the Atlantis and SpongeBob. So we'll briefly look over those. We'll do a bit more of an update on the Batmobile. Okay, well, let's start down here. Back at the port. So since last video, we've got two of the gantry cranes mocked up. I've got my orders sitting there waiting to go on Bricklink. So hopefully in the next month or two, those will arrive. Now what I did get arrive though, since last video, was I got a bunch of those road plates, the older versions. So I've got a whole stack of those. I'm going to get ready to put those underneath those cranes. Another thing I've got to do with these cranes, I've got to move these control rooms, turn them on their side, so that way the trucks can come under, load up, and then head out again. I'm almost thinking about probably moving it over a little bit as well. I've done a quick test out on these custom cross tracks, and they worked out really well for getting those lines through. And the other thing I finally got out here, it's the new Lego train station. I'm thinking at the moment, because I've got the main city coming in to this main built-up area, is to stick the train station right about here, which means I'll need to move the cathedral over, just to let the elevated train line come through in this section, and then join up and head out on top of the freight lines. So I've just been working out where we can put those, and then clearing out this section so I can get my staging area, and I've got some of my trains put in here. Okay, we've still got the Friends area here. It's currently blocking the back, so I'm looking at doing a Chinatown in this section. Now I'm taking this whole area completely out and moving it right down to where the rest of the Friends area is. And that way the freight line can come in through the back here and then cut in along this vacant section on across here. We've got a lot of bridges and things have to be planned out in the next month. Things like what I've got, the GCPD here. Let's see if we can get a front shot. Now that's too high. Need to lower that right down to probably the same height as these areas here. So that way the police boat can join up to that, and then I'm going to run a bridge across here. And that red thing there used to be a bridge, but it didn't survive the move. And coming down here, we've been working on the airport a little bit, working out how things go. This was one we built, or would have been about a year or two ago. It's got parking area underneath with a loop around. It's got a bit of interior with turntables and security areas, and it's got a baggage handling area, which actually comes out the back here. I haven't done this next bit because we're working out the positioning of the airplanes, working ahead to the runway. Now currently the table cuts off here, but this table here is going to come across down to this section, and then there'll be a lifting up area here where the runway will continue out across for the takeoffs, and there'll be the rest of the river will go across here, So that way the river comes down where the walkway is and then across again past here. And we've got our hangers. Oh, move this out of the way. It's my daughter's one. Let's go our hangers there. We've currently got a Friends aeroplane in there, and the I think it's the hidden side. It's the hidden side aeroplane in there. These are mocks that we did. I can't remember the name of the Lego set, but it has 2 jets with it. But I wanted to have some hangers in here. So that's currently where the airport's up to. So we're probably going to have to raise this up a bit more. We're working out these base plates aren't the ones we're going to use. I'm going to try to get some of the vintage green and grey airport runway pieces. And then I'm thinking possibly, if I can get my hands on them, the Lego space base plates for these sections, and just tile over these with actual tiles. And then so that'll go from concrete onto the grass area for the actual runway itself. Love to get some lights on that too, but we'll just see if I can actually get those parts first. I found a few on Bricklink, but not enough to make the order worthwhile. Postage is quite high, as we all know, so let's see how I go with that. I don't think there's too much going on down this area. And we've done a few unbaggings, but we'll come back to that one another day. Okay, so back down to this end. So we've been working out how we're going to run the bridge from this side across. So at the moment I'm looking at having it lift up so we can get under and then put it back down when we're not using it. And then running down across here, down this area, and straight the way through, and then having it split off into 2 different areas, past the Monarch Theatre, and come down here, just behind the Ace Chemicals. So that way the train line and the highway will share the same bridge, and the elevated line will go over the top of it. So looking at right where that train track is at the moment. And the other thing is, actually, I've got to mention in the last video, is our table access. So we actually have these manholes located throughout the city. This one's going to be closed off. This one's going to be the harbour. And we've got one more. So there's a central one. And there's another one over here. Now these tables you can walk on. So you can either climb up to the sides and walk across. Anywhere where there's water, you can walk along. Or anywhere where there's these manholes, you can come up and walk around the city. So that way we can get enough access, because it is quite a big table, and there's a walkway right down the back. One's right the way down the whole city. Down the back there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the city. Now the other things we've been doing since last video is underneath our harbour area here, we're going to be building a little island here, and then directly underneath it, we've got Bikini Bottom starting to build. So anyone who knows much about the sets, I've done a bit of research, they cost a lot. So what I've done is I've printed off some photos of each of the sets. So we've got Chum Bucket, we've got the bus set, we're going to build Mr. Krabs's house, we've got the hospital, we've got the rocket, and we've got Mrs. Puff's school. So we have a substantial parts collection, so we're going to start collecting bits, put them in bags with each of the piles of paperwork, and we do that with most of our builds. So that way, because we have so many bits, we use some of it up. And the other area we've built since last video is our Atlantis area. Kids have been playing with that a lot, so it's a little bit messy at the moment, but you can see it's starting to take shape. We've got some of the rock work in, we've got the actual temple built. And as we go along, we've just started more on our Jurassic World area, which I'm really tempted to build the King Kong underworld area. So I'm thinking I've got the bits, I can put some mountains coming off the top and a big volcano made out of Lego down here with all the dinosaurs. So we've been watching the Minecraft mod for it lately, and the kids are in love with it, so I'm all for it. And we've got here's a good example of how we're doing our building. Is we've got the visitor centre for Jurassic Park. So this started off as the original small Lego set, and as I'm finding parts, I'm collecting them, and when I find enough bits, then I'll sit down and just put the whole thing together. So once you got the design down, the construction part doesn't take too long, but finding all the bits. So our setup, we've got underneath the entire table, all the way along, there's boxes, and the Batmobile. Sorry, I should zoom out on the Batmobile a little bit. The Batmobile itself, it's for all our parts. We've got each of these drawers, each side. It's got hundreds and hundreds and thousands of parts. And that's front and back, so same here as well. Just full of bits, lots of sets. Highly recommend trawling eBay very often and just picking up what you can. Now the other thing we've done, we've just started working on a bit more on the elves area, a bit more rock work. My daughter's been unpacking all of her dragons and elves. She's got the boat there. She's got a fair few sets. And right down the end here, she's got her evil elves area. We've got like the little goblin village and things going in. So that's happening. And on this other side of the table, we've got our pirates going in. They're quite old, they've seen better days. But I'm a big fan of the theme. Then we've got our Lego Castles theme. Now I did get the Dungeons and Dragons set last Christmas, I think it was. And it's been built, but not out here yet. It's actually inside the house. So I'm excited to get that out here and get it all set up. And all the other villager sets I've got. And we've got some of the Lord of the Rings sets. Got that one. I'm thinking this one's going to go in a different area though, but for the moment I've just got all my Lord of the Rings piled up there. A lot of things have not been unpacked. Dreams is starting to look a bit messy, but we're getting all the bits in one place, and that's what's really important. Same as things like our airplanes. I've got quite a few doubles and quite a few large airplanes, and my intention is to have them flying, like I'll hang them off the ceiling and have them flying over the city. I'm a bit excited to get into that one. Quite like airplanes. Now down here, we've got our Arctic area. And one of my birthday presents was the new Lego snow train. So I'm really excited to get a track going. I've just got to wait for the order of white base plates to come through. So I do use a Mills plate design on this one, or a Mills plate underneath. I don't normally do that, but I find it really works well for the ice to get these jagged shapes and cuts through the ice. I've done another order of the rocks, and those arrive, so that's going to happen soon. As soon as the white bits arrive, the base plates. The only place I can find them at the moment is on Amazon for a reasonable price. We've got a few more snow themed sets. Ooh, can't see anything. In that bag there. Okay. Well, the other thing is, because of the size of the city, So now that I'm unpacking some of the stuff, I've got like some of the large Lego sets, the older ones. So something like this one, it's going to have to be much taller. So we're probably looking at increasing the height here. So I was looking at some of the Chinese skyscrapers. I think it was Chinese, the traditional ones. I'm thinking about borrowing a bit from that design to increasing the height and completely changing the bottom, and that way I can go into like a harbour section. So I'm thinking about building a really shallow harbour, and I've got a few of these Ninjago sets lying around that I'm going to part out and make bigger. They just look too tiny when you put them into a large city. Okay, so we'll go down this way. Come around the side. Oh, while I'm here. So the other thing we've been doing is working out how to do our edging, covering up all this edge. So I've got, when I was building large spaceships, I collected a lot of these corrugated sections. So I'm looking at, because each of these areas is different heights, this one will need just a single block to go underneath. And that way I can blend from those into rock areas. And then areas like this where it's much lower, I'll just run a single piece along the bottom there. Okay, so there's one other area that we've finally unpacked, and that's my cowboy area. It's a mess, and it's going to be a lot bigger. So each of these areas is going to be a minimum of 2 meters long. So this one will take up this whole section, and I've got trains for this as well. Currently got some tracks in there. These will have interiors. So that's where we're at with the city. Till next time, God bless and keep building.